Welcome to Newcomers on Fire, the podcast guiding you to thrive in your new country. I am Miguel, your host. Moving to a new country is tough, and starting over can be even tougher. But it doesn't have to be. With the right mindset and community, we will help you accelerate your journey. In each episode, we talk to people who have been through it, and they shared how they did it, step by step. Remember, success leaves clues, and my goal is to motivate and support you to build the life you want, wherever you are. This podcast is just the start. If you want more, you should check out our community. That is where the real magic happens. If you find value in this episode or have a story to inspire newcomers, I would love to hear from you. You can send us a message or record a short video at story.onfire.show. Sharing your experience can make all the difference from someone who is just starting. Now, let's dive into today's episode. Today, we're going to hear from two unstoppable newcomers, Sanaz and Livia, who defied the odds and conquered one of the biggest marketing competitions for college students in Ontario. Their story is a powerful testament to the resilience, determination, and growth mindset that newcomers need to thrive. You will discover how they overcame self-doubt, cultural barriers, and intense pressure to deliver a winning pitch that left the judges in awe. Sanaz and Livia will share the behind-the-scenes strategies that allow them to harness feedback, practice relentlessly, and craft a compelling narrative that spoke straight to the hearts of their audience. This is an episode packed with actionable tips on public speaking, storytelling, leveraging your unique experiences, and stepping into your full potential as a newcomer. Whether you are looking to ace your next job interview, lead a high-stakes presentation, or simply build unwavering confidence in yourself, Sanaz and Livia's journey will provide you with the roadmap to success. Don't just take notes, download the free workbook for this episode to apply their wisdom to your own journey. The link is in the show notes. So stay tuned as we uncover the secrets behind this remarkable accomplishment. You don't want to miss this empowering conversation.
Welcome to the Newcomers on Fire Show with your host, Miguel Abascal. Listen to people like you sharing their journeys, struggles, and their breakthroughs. Be ready to be inspired to take control of your time, career, finances, and future. Fulfill your potential. Become the person you're meant to be and make your dreams a reality.
Welcome back to another episode of Newcomers on Fire. Today we have a really cool episode because I'm here with Sanaz and Livia. I met you in the Ontario College Marketing competition, and you were the winners of the Prospect Pitch Challenge. So I'm super excited to be talking with you because that was a huge success. And before we jump into what is OCMC and the competition, I would like to learn more about your journey, about your story. So, Livia, if you don't mind, can you please share where you're from, when you came to Canada, how long have you been in Canada, and what are you doing in Canada?
Yeah, of course. So I came in Canada in January of this year, so January 2023, and I'm from Brazil. I initially arrived here the beginning of the month, like January 4th. So it was snow everywhere,
Super
winter,
cold.
super cold. And I came from summer in Brazil. So it was like a huge, it was like a huge shock. But I came here with the purpose to study. So I do marketing, and my program is 6 semesters, so around 3 years. And I have plans to stay here the whole time. I didn't come to Canada with plans to stay forever, but I've been really enjoying it, so that feeling is definitely growing in me for now.
Canada is winning your heart. That's amazing.
I know, right? I wasn't expecting that, especially with the no sun, just clouds and snow, but it is for sure.
And now you have a full cycle of like winter all the way to winter again.
Yeah, exactly.
And for those that are not in Canada, yeah, Canada's winter is around 6 months, so you can just imagine.
I know. And
That's
in Brazil,
amazing.
we have summer for almost 6 months, so it's totally opposite.
Yeah, exactly. In fact, a lot of people talk about. I'm from Mexico, and so a lot of people talk about Mexico, the Caribbean, as eternal summer. So it's like, yes, it's
Yeah.
always hot, it's always green, it's always amazing. So, well, welcome, Livia. Thank you so much. We're so excited that you're in Canada and studying. So incredible.
Yeah,
And
thank
what
you.
about you, Sanas?
So I come from Iran. I came to Canada 2 years and 3 months ago, exactly, if I want to say. And um, I came in September, so it wasn't in the middle of snow and winter. I had a little bit of time to get prepared for that. And I came as an international student and started studying at York University for biomedical. But so much happened after that, and I changed my school, I changed my major, and right now I'm studying at Seneca College. I'm studying business marketing. And the next semester would be the last semester. Finally, I can graduate.
That's incredible. I'm so curious to know more about that change. If you can also tell us more about from my biomedical to marketing, what happened?
Yeah, it was it was a big shift, I'd say. Um, I have a background in physical education from my country, and I always was interested into the physical education aspect of helping people to recover from injuries, and that falls into chiropractic and majors such as that. So the only option I had when coming to Canada that could, after studying it, I could change to kinesiology, which ultimately would take me to chiropractic, was biomedical. That was available option. So I started my study with that, with the thought in my with that thought that I'm gonna change it to kinesiology. And at the same time that I started my study, I started looking for jobs in Canada. And so I have a hobby of exercising meditation, and that a specific school that I practice is called Falun Dafa. Is from a Buddha school. And so I found a group of people that practice the same exercise Falun Dafa in Canada, and they were holding some events. So I attended, participated in those events, and kind of started to grow my network in Canada by kind of getting to know people who are interested in the same hobbies as me or who are in the same classes as me in the school, but to kind of build my social circle here.
Right.
And from there, I learned that as I was introducing myself to people, I was always telling that I'm available for jobs and even voluntarily jobs. Because in Canada, I learned that it's very important that you show you're uh, interested in helping businesses to grow, even if it's just for voluntarily jobs.
So true.
Yes, and that was the door. That was um, for me the key, because somebody from the same practices, like one of the practitioners, offered me a job, and um, that job was very easy. It was just to prepare some reports for them. And I went, I had a very comprehensive interview with them, and I worked with them for a week, prepared some reports for them. And I think they really liked what I did because they referred me to their parent company, which was the Epoch Times, which I work for them now. And they offered me a position, a paid position. I had another interview. I got a position in marketing, which was available at the time. After 3 months of full-time work with the Epoch Times during the summer, um, I really loved the job. I really loved the corporate culture, the mission of the Epoch Times as well. And well, my manager knew that I have to go back to school to study kinesiology, and she asked me whether I'm interested to stay with the company. And So my answer was yes, because I really enjoyed what I was doing there. And then she offered that if I want to stay with them and work, why don't I change my major to a related topic? And that's how I changed from kinesiology to marketing in Seneca College.
What a journey! That's
Right.
incredible. So much to unpack. Like first of all, um, you had a hobby, and you went to meet people from that hobby,
Right.
where you are your true self, right? You don't have a hidden agenda. You are just there to enjoy, to experience, and to practice. And thanks to that, you met an amazing person that referred you to a volunteer opportunity, which also turned into a job. So how everything progresses is like it's beautiful. Yeah. So thanks so much for sharing. And Livia, what about you? Like, are you also working?
Yeah. So I don't have any experience like in secondary education. So I came fresh out of high school to Canada. So it was kind of like, okay, first big adult lifestyle that I've ever had. But I already had a
Exactly.
job working online with social media back in Brazil. So it's like full time, but it's home office. So I continue doing that here in Canada. And then just kind of growing that relationship, I ended up like branching out to some other options all online, which was really helpful because kind of adjusting to a new country by myself and then going to college, I was like, I'm not sure how I can manage all of that at the same time. So I was kind of
Exactly.
focused on getting an opportunity that was 100% remote and online so that it could be really flexible. So I would spend most of my time on campus, and then I was doing classes, but then I was also working in between classes and then working from home. So yeah, that's
That's
kind of,
amazing.
yeah, it was
So
great.
now that you have been here in Canada for a little bit of time, if you could send a tweet to yourself before taking the airplane to come to Canada, what would you send? What would you say to yourself?
Before,
Yeah.
oh God, that's a good question, actually. I think I would say that you are much stronger than you realize. Before I came to Canada, I never expected to be able to deal with so much all the time by myself. Like, I didn't know I could actually handle everything by myself and doing everything from scratch. Because when you arrive here, you starting your life from scratch. Like, you don't know
So
anyone,
true.
you don't know places that you can go, you don't know the best, I don't know, supermarkets or anything. Like, you are discovering everything, right? And like you will make it if you just have this mindset that like you're so much stronger than you realize.
I love that. That's super powerful. What about you, Sanes?
So what would I tell myself before coming to Canada?
Exactly.
I kind of told myself to be ready for anything
Nice.
because anything can happen, and I didn't. What I was to go with the flow. That's what I would say.
Go with the flow.
Yeah.
Wow. That's yeah. To your point, that's very Buddhist, right? It's like just experience life.
Right.
Yes, I love that. And so true because I'm just imagining right now that your plan was biomedical and now it's marketing.
Right.
Like completely different. So what a journey indeed. Um, Quick question about now. Let's jump into you both met in Seneca. You are both in marketing, and there is a competition. Can you just explain us more about what is this competition? What is a big deal? Like, just give us more context of how you prepare for it.
Okay, so OCMC is a competition between the schools of marketing of different colleges in Ontario. And every year, each school hosts the competition, and we have 12 different cases. And so basically, you go there, they will give you a business case with a marketing problem, and you have 30 minutes to read that, prepare your presentation, and then go in and present to the judges. So that's kind of like the
Insane,
overview
right?
of what it actually is. Yeah.
That's real life experience right there.
Real life is a little bit softer.
You're right. Like they will not say to you, it's like, here's the information and you have 30 minutes to go to the executives and present. Yeah, you're
Yes,
so true.
exactly.
So what I'm blown away is because I heard about this competition through the Georgian College, which I've been affiliated for a long time since I did a program called Further Faster, where they help me as an entrepreneur to amplify my reach on how can I help more people. So they told me about this competition and I was like, wow, is that a thing? Is that like, that sounds so stressful, right? Like you have 30 minutes to read a business case and not only read the business case, understand it, digest it, and then also present your idea, your solution, and create a PowerPoint. And then go and present in front of a table of like 5 or 6 judges. So how was that? How do you prepare for that? How, yeah, like I'm just thinking, how can you become so good at it? Yeah.
Do you want to start? You can start.
Well, I want to give some credit to Scott Campbell, our manager, like the head coach of the OCMC competition in Seneca College, because he has designed a very comprehensive course to get us ready and prepared for OCMC competition. And also all the instructors, each group of the 12 cases that Lily mentioned have 1 or 2 instructors that they're gonna start having practices with from 2 months before the competition. So it's on a weekly basis, and we get examples of cases that are similar to what we are going to get on the competition day, and go through the exact process. We get to have 30 minutes to prepare, and then 15 minutes to present, and 5 minutes Q&A with the judges. And then we receive feedback from them. We go back, work on it. That's the difficult part, actually, because to be criticized every week as you are trying to get better at what you're doing, it requires a very big openness and acceptance. But I think I and Lily really used the feedback that they gave us to improve ourselves, and well, gladly we did good in OCMC.
Well, I can say you don't do good only. You did amazing. It was incredible.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank
no,
you.
I can tell you from my perspective, from the judging panel. Of course, you are in the morning the whole day to understand. Like you're from the morning all the way to like the evening on a back-to-back pitch presentation. So it's quite interesting to see like the best students of all in Ontario's colleges present to you and give you so many different ideas. So at the end, we were judging, and I can tell you that it was so tight that we went to the decimal points to see, okay, who is going to be the winner, because it was super, super close. And yeah, everybody just said like, okay, your team was like by far one of the things that very strong presentation. So that's why I said like, okay, there is going to be some preparation for this, because you cannot just wake up one day and say like, I'm going to sign up and I'm just going to show up, right? So definitely there is coaching, there is mentoring, there is a process. And the same applies for everything, right? It's if you come to a new country and just try to figure out yourself by yourself, and there is going to be a lot of trial and error, a lot of time wasted, a lot of errors. But if you have a coach or a system or a mentor, things go super fast. So again, another example of how this happens. So let us tell us more about the whole experience. So you presented, and then what happened, and of course you are the winners. But if you can tell us how that impacted your life or how that changed it.
Okay. I think that ever since I have this joke that I say that every time that OCMC entered my life, he became like 30% of my personality, because it's overwhelming, and it goes all over like all the areas of your life. So after OCMC, I saw like changes in every area of my life, because it was so like it was so broad, and it really makes you like ponder so many things about your skills, how you can get better. And Sanaz said, like, we get so much feedback from the coaches and the professors that it's like, oh my, sometimes I caught myself being like, I don't even know what to do with all these notes. Like, oh my God, I never noticed that I was doing this or that. And you
Right.
really have to like, open your heart to, okay, I see it, I understand it, and now I'm going to apply whatever they said back into our lives. And I think that mindset of receiving feedback, understanding, and applying it really change it in every perspective, like in your personal life, in my professional life, academic life as well. So it teaches you to really like be open to grow because it's preparing to OCMC is like being in an incubator. It's like all
Right.
the time people are telling you, do this, do that. You're getting there, you're getting better. There's always something to increase and be better at. And then you kind of get that same vision into like all the areas, you know. So going back to Seneca after OCMC, I had this with my courses, for example. I was like, oh, like I will ask my professors, like for the first time, I was kind of comfortable in approaching them and being like, oh, like how could I do better or how could I increase this or that? And professors and mentors, they are there, like they want to help you, they want to provide you with that support. And so it was just easier to be open to it and then apply whatever they said back to us and like to all of my life for sure.
Oh, wow. That's amazing, Lily. What about you, Sana?
Pretty much similar experiences as Lily mentioned, because it is very much about how um, confident you become after these practices, all these practices, and being in that simulated environment of presenting your ideas to 5 people from the industry gives you confident in presenting your ideas in an effective way and be able to kind of predict what the prospect or people you're gonna work with are expecting from you. Because I don't want to say I'm a perfectionist, but I want to say I was a perfectionist. Now I because I've been working on it. And when you have this mentality of high achieving, you set very high standards for yourself. And with that, sometimes we exceed the like expectations that other people have from us. Like, and that's just, I think, redundant pressure. It's not helpful. So the biggest help for me after having this chance of participating in OCMC was that uh, I'm more assured in my abilities and to mediate that perfectionism in myself to be a high achiever, not a perfectionist.
That's incredible. So, if I can just recap from both, it sounds that you both adopted a new growth mindset. Something
Exactly.
like it's
Yeah.
like absorbing the feedback, but also at the same time, it's like progress versus perfection. And you delivered. From our side, I think one of the elements that captured my attention the most on your presentation was your story, your storytelling component, where it was so incredible that at the end, all the judges told me, Miguel, you should hire them. And not only that, the moderator that we had in the room, she asked me, it's like, when did they took your program? And I was like, they haven't. So it's like, oh, wow, I thought they did because it was so convincing and so real. So for everybody that was not in the presentation, the case competition was to represent the company, the parent company that powers this podcast called Try Faster. We have the objective to help newcomers try faster in their new country. And the case competition was for you to represent the benefits and features of joining Try Faster's community. And if I can just very quickly recap, what you did was masterful because you said, like, before we start, let me tell you why I love what I do. And it's like, right from the get go, I was like, wow, that was super cool. And it was because it was your story, your experience, and so on. And then at the end, before closing or asking for the sale or anything like that, you were like, just to recap, the reason you love so much what you do and how you help people and so on. So it was like, yeah, it was super well just to prepare those 50 minutes. So again, congratulations. What a huge accomplishment for both of you. So I'm super happy that you were able to experience it, but also not only experience it, but to win it. It's incredible.
Thank
Right.
you so much. It was great. We had so much fun. I think that also made it, me and Tanaz, we worked to like really be comfortable with each other and our deck and the way we wanted to kind of flow things and our ideas. And before we start, one of our instructors, actually Scott, he asked us to set some goals on what we wanted to get out of OCMC, right? And he said, like, don't just say first place or win, just like really goals for yourself and personal um, things that you want to achieve. And I said that I wanted to showcase my creativity. That was like one of my goals. I was like, I really want to be creative and find a way in my presentation to showcase that. And I think throughout all the weeks, we really worked to give ourselves space to kind of get our ideas out the way. Because when we get the case and there's so much information, we might get like stuck into using everything that's in there or only stay close to the case. But we wanted to do something complete opposite. We wanted to really use the information to kind of get our creativity working and be able to showcase different ideas. And when I read the case, I was like, I remember reading like Try Faster to Help Immigrants in Canada. I was like, I got this. Like, this is going to be awesome because
Yeah.
and we told a personal story that it was kind of inspired in ourselves, but it wasn't true at all. Like, we kind of made it, but it was
Yeah.
inspired in us. So it was really cool. We had so much fun.
And your delivery was perfect because everybody believed it. It was like, oh, wow. Yeah. She works for the company.
That's great. I'm glad to hear that.
One
That's
of the
amazing.
things that made it easier for me to get like the 30 minutes preparation went very smoothly was that in when we try to help businesses to come up with ideas to either help them to get through a downfall, a crisis, or there's an opportunity, we want to help them to take advantage of it. There is this helping component to presentation that's very important that we can convey it to the prospect as we are presenting to them. It comes in our tone, the way we present our ideas, and it also is very much um, into every parts of the slides as well, because we explain, okay, we understand that your business is here, those are your needs, and this is how we're going to help you. And I think with Thrive Faster, it was very tangible how it's going to help people. With some products, with some services, we need to think a little harder to make that connection. How is this going to exactly help this person or people, and in what ways? But with Thrive Faster, it was very directly like, okay,
It
it's
makes
going to
sense.
solve, yes, readily made sense.
That's incredible. So let's think about the benefits and well more about the skill set that you developed during these months to prepare for the presentation. You develop the confidence, you develop the ability to just own the presentation in an incredible way. If you could give some advice to newcomers that are just arriving to the country and sometimes they're having issues with confidence, with self-doubt, with how other people are seeing them, what would you recommend them to do? Like maybe similar to what you did with your preparation, there may be some things that they can also potentially replicate so that they can prepare better. What do you think will be a good recommendation for newcomers to say, like, hey, if you do this, you will improve your presentations, your interviews?
I want to say practice
That
because,
was what I was thinking
yeah,
about.
there really isn't any other way. Because at the end of the day, being a good presenter is being comfortable. You can be nervous, but you don't want to showcase that. You want to just be comfortable in yourself and also in your ideas, right? And there's no other way to get familiar with something than to just practice over and over and over. And I think for OCMC, just kind of using that as an example, but you can use that as like a job interview that you have. After, I would just kind of go over again in my mind. So everything that we did on the coaching session or on the job interview, for example, like at night when I would get home, I would just practice and I would say it out loud, the same answers that I did. Then I would start like tweaking them and changing. Oh, if I said that, it would be better. So then I would say it again. And then I would just like do that. And once you start practicing so much, you get so comfortable with your ideas and yourselves and the words that you want to use that it just becomes really natural to you.
So true.
One thing I thought about was that my native language is Persian, and language is an instrument, especially in presentation. It's a tool that you can take advantage of in business world. And if I were to, like my block once was that comparing that, okay, if I was going to do this in Persian, I would nail it. But because it's in English, I have this block. And that would take actually away my confidence because I wasn't feeling confident doing it in English. But then it wasn't serving me. And so I should have changed that mindset and I should have kind of tried to look at it from another angle. And I think right now, the way I see it is that, well, language is important, but it's not everything. It's the whole package. I think I and Lily speak English as our second language, but in OCMC, there were competitors in our category that English was their first language. And the fact that we got the first place is telling that language is not the determining factor of how your presentation is gonna be, or how people are gonna perceive you. It's the whole package. So even if the English is like not your strength, there are lots of other things that we can work on to boost the presentation and performance.
So true. Wow, so much wisdom in that because you're so right. Like practice is the father or mother of mastery, and mastery gives you the confidence that you're so true. Like it showcases it. And Sana, you're right. Like uh we didn't even notice if you have an accent or anything. It was more about the story, the delivery, how you felt, and how you own the stage in a way. Like how was the presentation was so well done. So thank you for that because it's a great reminder that you could go and try to do the presentation by yourself, but without practice, people will notice. But if you practice a lot, it shows as natural. So that's incredible. Um, who will be the people that you would like to appreciate for all of these successes? Who do you think it's on that list?
Oh, there's a lot of people. Do you understand? I guess like our coaches, Lindsay and Shannon, they are amazing. They really spend a lot of time with us, going over everything every week. They really gave their whole heart to it, like on all of our practices. So a huge thank you to them for sure.
I want to
Amazing.
thank you. I want to. Lily was a very excellent partner during this whole process. She is a proactive learner, and she made it fun for me. And I think it's very like journey with a good company is the best. So it was very good to have her. Well, in my case, I always thank the support from my family, even though they are not here.
Yeah.
Friends and family who see what you're going through and try to be there. And every professional from instructors and head coaches that gave us the instructions and help us to get prepared. And
I
you
love that.
also, you gave us the good judgment.
Yes,
That helped too.
a great case. Thank
Exactly.
you so much. Like when I read
No,
the case, I was just like, this is going to be awesome because such a cool company. Like, it just really gave us the extra joy that we needed to really do what we had.
Nailed it. And you're so right. Like whenever I ask this question, is like I'm super happy to ask it because it takes a village. So when somebody sees a huge success, like the amount of people behind it is like as well as huge, because it doesn't happen overnight, and it doesn't happen just because one day I just wake up and I'm going to compete. No, I never seen that, by the way. So I'm super happy again to talk with you. Any last words? Any last advice that you'd like to share with newcomers, people that are thinking on arriving to Canada, or people that are here and are struggling to find their first professional job? They are thinking like, oh, I don't know what I'm doing wrong. I'm still working in this survival job. What should I do? Any last words of hope, wisdom, advice?
Oh, I guess don't lose hope, because if you keep going, eventually you're going to get there. Like, know where you want to go and just keep going, because the road is always there. And if you never give up, eventually you're going to arrive. You might have some challenges, but also a lot of the answers of your challenges might be within yourself. So if you are struggling, just kind of take a breath and ask yourself, like, why am I struggling? What it really is causing that? Because for me, a lot of the challenges sometimes are within me. It's like, it's lack of confidence. I'm scared or whatever. So just take a breath, ask yourself, what is it? Sometimes going to be within yourself. And if it's not within yourself, you have the strength. Just keep going always.
That's very nice. I don't know how I can add to that. I just think, but I learned that baby steps are the way to go. I wanted always to jump so high, but actually, baby steps are the way to go, slowly but constantly. So, yeah, keep moving forward.
I love that. It's about, to your point, progress versus perfection, adapt to the flow, ask for help, being vulnerable and say, hey, I'm struggling, please help, join communities, go and practice your hobbies. Because a lot of people, what I've seen doing is that I cannot waste time with my hobby if I don't have a job. I must find first a job before going to do my hobby or my community or volunteering, because it's like I cannot invest time in volunteering if I don't have a job. But the mindset is actually different. It's like, actually, when you volunteer, when you invest time in hobbies, you are your true self, and it's so easy to build relationships that way. So again, that was beautiful said, both of you. I can see that your future is full of success. So definitely, I'm super excited just to witness a little bit of that, and hopefully we can stay in touch so that I can see more again and again of like how everything has progressed. Because I was able to experience that presentation, and I think that was just like the tip of the iceberg. It's like there is whole more to this story. So with that said, I just want to thank you again for being an amazing, incredible human beings that put everything on that presentation, that we were able to meet each other, and also that you agreed to share your story.
Thank you for the chance.
Yeah, thank you so much. It was lovely.
That's amazing. Thank you. That wraps up another great conversation full of actionable advice to help you thrive as a newcomer. If you enjoyed this or took away something useful, I have just 3 quick asks. First, spread the word. Post about this on social media or share it directly with somebody that needs this. Next, pay it forward. Take a minute and leave us a review with your biggest takeaway. You can also share your experience by sending us a message or recording a short video at story.onfire.show. And finally, come and join our community. Connect with fellow newcomers, ask questions, and keep the conversation going at onfire.show. That's all for this episode of Newcomers on Fire. I am Miguel, reminding you that with the right mindset and community, anything is possible. See you next time for more amazing stories and practical tips to help you build the life you want in your new home.
We hope you enjoyed this show and that it helps you to find your way or make your way. If you found value, share it with someone who needs it. Until next time, to your success.